This is Parashat Chayei, the shur on the Parashat. It's interesting. The Parashat talks about shidduchin. Everybody, these days, everybody wants remedies for shidduchin. And here we are, that Avraham wants to find a shidduch for Yitzchak. First thing that Avraham does is davening and praying. Davening and praying is the first thing that the person should do. Person should daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, pray to Hashem, that the person should find a bad zivug for his own children and for himself. First thing is davening. And the other thing is that Chachamim tell us that Avraham had a lot of choices around himself from the family of Canaan. But he says, no, I don't want. Even Eliezer had a daughter, his good servant. But he says, no, your family is family of Canaan. I want to go, you should go from my own family, from Terach, to get it. I have a dating class, and I tell them, write down the priorities that you want in your life for dating. What's the priority? And everybody says something, right. And according to 10 priorities, number 1, number 2, number 3, and finally I tell them, number 1 is family, second is family, third family, fourth, 10 is family. The way that she grew up or he grew up in that home, that makes it. The home makes all of the shidduch. Every thought, every process, every behavior comes from home. When there is a decent family, when there is a serenity in the family, when the needs of the child was provided in the family, then the child is good, is healthy. That's why Abraham here is making a big point, this parasha with parasha of shidduchin, and all of the emphasis of shidduchin is family. Even less emunah, more family, because Eliezer has much greater emunah. Eliezer is a Ebed of Abraham, because once you have a good family, good root, you're going to have a big tree. But you have a weak root, now you have a trunk, but it falls. It doesn't help. Family and family. Now finally, Torah tells us that once, in other words, it's being tested through mitzvot, through characteristics, that's number 2 on the shidduchin. Characteristics, mitzvot. Because a person marries somebody else, they have to be together 24 hours. What sticks out 24 hours during the day is mitzvot. Once you marry somebody for mitzvot, for good characteristics, that they could live happy and harmonious life, this 24 hours becomes alive. Gets to the dimension that should get to happy family. But if the focus of marriage is not characteristics, is anything else, we have lapse in 24 hours of life, because they can't create that harmonious for the 24 hours. And then you start having all of types of problems. Therefore, Torah tells us mitzvot. Now, finally, it's very interesting. Torah tells us that Eliezer, when he finished everything, Eliezer gave her a nose ring, gold nose ring, beqa mishgalo. That the weight was beqa, is a certain measurement of the weight in Torah. Ushne sevidim al yodea, and 2 bracelets al yodea on her hands. Asara zahav mishkalam. 10 zahav is their weight. Now Chazal tell us that how come, what is this, what is jewelry? He says that, Rashi says, in other words, beqa, in other words, the nose ring was beqa. Beqa le mishkale Israel, beqa le gulgulatam. In other words, for korbanot, everybody was obligated to get 1 beqa during the year that bring korbanot. This beqa refers to korbanot. Unbelievable. Shnei semidim and 2 bracelets, remez shnei luchot mesumadot. The 2 semidim refers to 2 luchot. Semidim comes from mesumad. Mesumad means 2 luchot that tied up together. There is a harmonious together. Adam lemakom, Adam lechavero. 2 luchot Torah, asra zav mishgalam. 10 zav is mishgalam, remez esra diberot. Interesting. Mishnah in Avot says that the olam is stand on 3 bases. Torah, avodah, gevurot, chasadim. Now on chesed, Avraham tested Rivka, beautiful and chasodim. But he says it's not enough. The middot is not enough. Chesed is not enough. What do we need? We need korbanot. Torah, avodah, chasodim, chamasodim was tested. Then Torah was, avodah was hinted nose ring, beka mishkalo, and Torah two semidim al yadeha. Therefore, the life, a home of a Jew has three bases. Torah, avodah, chasodim. We need all three together. We need chesed, we need Torah, and what maintains everything together is three things. Now I have a question. My question is like this. If Torah and avodah is so important, why should it be compared to jewelry? Why shouldn't Torah say that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he made the point with him? No contract. In contract, you have to keep korbanot, you have to keep Torah. But he didn't tell him, you have to keep Torah and korbanot. He gave him a jewelry, that the jewelry is beka mishkal u'semedim. And who is the chatan? Yitzchak. Yitzchak is the chatan. First of all, Torah wants to teach us, no matter what the couple are. If the husband is Yitzchak and the wife is Rivka, jewelry is important. In other words, the Midrash says, with man, when the man came down, cosmetics came down with man. Ezra HaSofer, when he made 10 takanot for the Yishuv of Israel, settling in Israel, one of the things that he made was that the rochlim, those who sell perfumes and cosmetics, they should go around all of the cities. Therefore, that is something important, something is chashuv. No matter what the couples are, no matter what sitkut, what type, it has to be with the jewelry, and that is the way that the HaKadosh Baruch Hu created. Now, the other things much deeper is, how do you represent Torah? How do you represent avodah at home? You come home and one day you scream for Torah, you demand, you impose, or you represent it like a jewelry with pleasantness. And that pleasantness, that love, that dedication that a person, family would have for jewelry should have for Torah mitzvot. And how do you do that? How do you make the things to go like that? When you are like Yitzchak, when you yourself are ben avodah, you do the avodah, you dedicate yourself for avodat Hashem. See, there are two things. Somebody goes for learning. Somebody goes to change himself. It's a big difference when they leave home. Somebody goes for learning, or sometimes someone goes for learning that not to be at home. Therefore, that type of things, the lady smells, and that would be against her. Then she would create resentment. That's not the way to represent like a jewelry to her. But when somebody goes and learns Torah and brings Torah home means he's a different person, different attitude, different approach to life, different way of life. Then I tell you a very good mashal. I had a friend that when I was in Baltimore, he used to come to Baltimore, stay there for a week, 10 days. He had 5-6 children at that time. One time I told him every year he used to come, and he goes to Rosh Hashiva's Chabura, Rabbi Weinberg, and he was very friendly with him. He came to all of the classes of Rabbi Weinberg. He was sitting in class with us. He understood, he asked questions and deal with Rabbi Weinberg. And one time I asked him that, how come you could come? How come your wife lets you come for 10 days from Los Angeles? He lived in Los Angeles, come here, come to Baltimore. He told me that his wife told him that whenever that you go and come back, you are a different person. You are a better husband. You are a better father. Your attitude, your act, your talking is different. It's worth it. It's worth it. A lot of times the lady pays for jewelry because it's worth it. That makes her happy. That gives different beauty to her. Having a nicer husband, having a husband that learns better, acts better, talks better, controls his anger, controls his derech eres, then it's worth it. That's like ordained, like the nesem, like the semitim. And vice versa also, the same thing. When a wife is Eshet Chayil, what's the right measurement in her life? What feelings she has for jewelry? Does she have for Torah? Does she have for mitzvot? What does jewelry take a person? And what does Torah and Avodah does to a person? When a lady feels like that, Torah is telling us, is education. We have to understand from jewelry how much eager we have, how much desire we have. Then compare the notes. Do we have that desire for Torah? Do we have that dedication for Torah? Torah is telling us that was a family. It's the first shidduch in Torah, first building up a home in Torah. These are the perspective. These are the things to build up. These are the things to work. A lot of times people think, what's my homework? Baruch Hashem, I'm Shomer Shabbat, and Shomer Shah Kashrut. I'm done. I did all of my homework. But Torah tells us, no, there's a great homework to be done. There's a great reward. And, once we don't have homework in life, we are in trouble. We feel we did it. Therefore, we don't have the growth. We don't have the challenges and overcoming. And once we don't have the challenges and overcoming, our life becomes, very, very steady, and, the excitement is gone, the things are gone. Just the opposite. Once we create new challenges in our life to overcome, even when we are trying the process, and even when we overcome it, then we feel happy. We are happier in life. We have a better mood. Our life is to make goals, better and better, to improve it. Once we have goals to improve, once we have goals to overcome challenges, once we overcome, we feel the sweetness of life. We see how wonderful life is. And we enjoy life, and that's a secret to a good Jewish home.